Well, good morning and welcome to Morning Cuppa. It's great to have your company this morning on this chilly winter's morning here in Sydney. Where you are, it may not be chilly. It might not be winter. If you're in the northern hemisphere, I'm pretty sure it's not winter where you are. And you might make the argument that, it's not really winter in Sydney. I mean, it's a matter of perspective, I guess. Where I'm from, in the Boston area, a weather like today, this is not winter. This is what we call beach weather. But I've lived in Sydney for a while, and so like other Sydney-siders, I'm a little chilly this morning, and we're all rugged up. So, but wherever you're watching from, wherever you're taking part in this community from, welcome. It's great to have your company. I've been thinking about how important it is for us to have each other's company. And I was thinking about that when I started Morning Cuppa back in March. In March, we were headed into this vast unknown called lockdown. And one thing I knew was that I wasn't going to be able to be in contact with people that I saw every week, the important connections that I had with people every week, particularly the people of the congregations of Wesley Mission. We have 10 congregations in Wesley Mission. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them meet in the Wesley Center in the center of Sydney on a Sunday. We have 3 different worship venues, and we have services that start in the morning and go right through the morning and into the afternoon. We have more services in the afternoon and more services in the evening. All day there's hundreds of people from all different walks of life, different backgrounds, speak different languages, have different cultures. It's a church where you look at us and you say, these people don't belong together. And we don't. By any standard of the world, we don't belong together, except that we know we belong together because together we belong to Christ. And so it's just an amazing community. And I knew that when we head into lockdown, we weren't going to be able to see those people. I wasn't going to be able to see those people. And some of those connections that I have on a Sunday, they'd be very, very deep and profound, sharing in a pastoral conversation with somebody, or sharing in prayer, or sharing in worship. But others would just be casual and informal. It'd still be important, just being able to share a smile as you walk by, or to share some food together in fellowship, or a handshake. A handshake. We remember those. We used to shake each other's hands, and I knew we were gonna miss all those things. And that's what Morning Cuppa came out of. Morning Cuppa was not a plan. It was not something that I said, maybe someday I'll do a daily morning thing on video and do it on Facebook. I never had any ambition to do this. It was just a sense, I've got to stay connected with these people. What surprised me and has surprised me is how many other people I've connected with in these weeks and these months that we've been doing this. But even more surprising and more wonderful is the connections that have been forming among people, even in that forum, where you see people sharing their mug, where you see people sharing comments in the comments section, particularly on Facebook. Comments in YouTube, I think, got a little lonely, but there's a real growing sense of community in the comments on Facebook, and that's a wonderful surprise. In fact, God has shown me a lot of surprising things during the lockdown, and as we emerge from the lockdown, I don't want to lose the things that God has revealed to me or to us as the church. I don't want to lose those things. And I know that that's a risk. I know that whenever I'm displaced, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, God reveals things. I'm open to seeing things, and God shows me things. God changes my perspective when I'm displaced. It happens Whether it's going on a retreat or a camp, and having an intentional time with God, but it also happens, just on a holiday when I come back to work and I've got a new perspective on things. It definitely happened when I migrated to Australia, where it just really opened my eyes to a whole lot of things about myself, about my relationship with family, about my relationship with country, about my relationship with God. So many things that God unfolded for me in that time. But the risk is that when I get back to normal, or I get to a new normal, that I lose sight of some of those things. A couple of weeks ago, I did that things that America could learn from Australia kind of thing, and vice versa. That was pretty hard for me to come up with those things that would have come just like that. My first couple of years living here, first 3 or 4 years living here. Now I had to really stop and think about it, because I'd lost some of that perspective of displacement. And it certainly happens, when I come back from a retreat or a camp or even a holiday, and I've got a new perspective of, right, this is what really matters. This is where I've got a new focus. I've gotten recentered in my relationship with God, those kind of things. But you get into a rhythm of things, and it's very easy to lose sight of those things. And that's what I don't want to lose sight of, what God has been revealing to the church, what God has been revealing to me and to you. I want us to hold those things, and to, even as we step into whatever new reality is opening up for us, I want us to take all of those perspectives and learnings and discoveries that God has for us into that, and let that reshape us. I just want to celebrate today. I'm going to look at some of those insights next week, but today I just want to celebrate this community and who you are. Judy from North Chelmsford, Massachusetts in the USA. It's great for us to be able to be connected with you. And it's great for us to be connected with you, David from Sydney. David is a member of Wesley Mission. He's also the leader of a wonderful ministry, an organization called Heart for Kids. It comes alongside kids in China, in India, and in Indonesia. And as we're connected with him, we're connected with all of them as well. We see some of their pictures up on the wall. It's wonderful to be connected with all of you, and I thank God for all of you. And I leave you with this verse from 1 John, the 4th chapter and the 7th verse. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love. Not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God. But if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is made complete in us. May God bless you all. May he make you a blessing today. And may